332-074. Just going to give a few people a little time to go ahead and log in. Just want to go over some housekeeping. Of course, if you have any questions, there's no such thing as a bad question. Please drop your questions in the chat. I am blessed to have someone with me to help us get through the questions. If for any reason your question was not answered, we will make sure that we email you or get you an answer out to your question. Tonight, we are going to be talking about 100% financing opportunities in 2025, not only just for a 1 unit, but for a 2 unit, a 3 unit, and a 4 unit property. So once again, we're going to give people just a few minutes. I like to be respectful of everyone's time. We are going to get started here very shortly. And like I said, please feel free to drop any comments below. Say hello. Tell us how you guys are doing. There's no such thing as a bad question. And I look forward to answering all your questions and giving you information to be dangerous to purchase in this market in 2025. And if you already own a home, you can share this information with others as well. And we do have one grant tonight that you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We do have individuals going ahead and joining us, but because we are live, we are going to get started. I am your loan officer, Natasha Robinson, NMLS number 332074, and welcome to Mortgage Moves Mondays. What we are going to be doing is giving you different things that are going on in the market with programs that I have access to, and all different types of things for you to make mortgage moves in 2025. And I always tell my clients, if you don't buy, someone else will. They may not look like you, but guess what? They're going to buy up the blocks in your neighborhood. I have multiple students from multiple countries that are buying in our communities. And the only way you can guarantee your seat at the table is to own. And guess what? You get 0% back when you pay rent. And yes, sometimes we have to pay rent. It's an important situation. Some of us own homes and still pay rent. But what we want to do is we want to give you your options. We want to take the fear away. We want you to feel like you have the tools to be dangerous, to make the decision for your family, the best decision for your family, whatever that decision may be. So we're going to go ahead and get this party started. And like I said, we do like questions. So of course, you can apply. We'll show you my link at the end if you're looking to purchase a home, but we're going to get right into the program. So today I'm going to be talking about different programs, ways that you can get into a property for 100% down. And I'm not just talking about somebody that wants to put 100% down just because they just don't have it, won't ever get it. This is funds and opportunities that are available to you. Some of these programs are for doctors. Some of these programs are for people that make $200,000-$300,000 a year. So don't think when we say the word down payment assistance, that is for the underdeserved or underappreciated. If it's free, we'll take 3, right? But it's not always free. So I'm here to guide you over what your options are. And once again, to make sure they make sense. A long time, I wouldn't really talk about 100% down programs. And the reason not is because some of the programs that are 100%, the interest rates are so much higher on the purchase that it just made more sense for clients to go ahead and utilize their 401k or get a gift or use alternative financing, because some down payment assistance can get expensive. But once again, we want to let you know what options you guys have, so that way you can utilize those options to get to your next level. So once again, IDA down payment assistance, the Chenoa grant, the CHAC grant. That's my new hot one right now, guys. We also have the Home Ready First. And guess what? To all my doctors, if you are a licensed doctor, the only one I think as it relates to the body is a chiropractor that does not qualify, right? But if you are a doctor and you went to school to be a doctor, we do have a 100% loan program for you, and it has no monthly mortgage insurance, right? So with that being said, we're going to tell you all about that tonight. And to all my veterans, you have always been able to take advantage of 100% down payment, but now we just got a little more spicy with the program, allowing renovation, and we got other few secrets once we get to that slide as well. So tune in, guys. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have. Every program is different. We are going to go through them each individually. I don't expect you to get it all today. At the end of my presentation, you can scan. And when you scan, You don't have to go on my application and put your social security number and apply. You can schedule a consultation and I can do a one-on-one and I can go over what you qualify for instead of you learning and to the T what every program does. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you approved or information on the program you qualify for. And if there is a better one that if you just made a few tweaks you would qualify for, I would set you on that plan B road to success as well. So having the one-on-one consultations just help you not have to know everything, but the information is dangerous. And once you know more, and there's a lot of programs out here in the world, these are just a few of them that we're talking about today. The Smart Buy. If you guys follow me and you've been in my classes, we went Smart Buy crazy this year, right? Smart Buy is a very popular loan. It's not as popular because the government is forgiving a lot of people's loans. Everybody isn't blessed with that. I had one of my realtors call me yesterday and said, guess what? I woke up this morning and they forgave $200,000 in student loans. Well, when they first thought about this program, that wasn't really an option. So now with the IDA Smart Buy, that's just one version of the IDA program. With the IDA Smart Buy, they will pay off $40,000 of your student loans, $40,000, and give you $5,000 towards your down payment. Common questions: what's the minimum credit score? 640, right? In addition to the 640, you can only go a 1-unit or a 2-unit property on this program. Yes, there is an income limit. It's pretty much about 134,000, which is pretty aggressive based upon some of our other programs. The only caveat to this program is you have to pay off all your student loans. If you have 70,000, I will give you 40, and then you would have to come up with the difference from 30,000. So if you're somebody that owes 40,000 or less, or you can bridge that gap, then this is the program for you. And it does not include Parent Plus loans. We won't count Parent Plus loans in the 40,000. We also won't pay off any Parent Plus loan. In addition to the Smart Buy program, IDA also has multiple other grants, and I didn't include them on my slide. I just see that I'm probably missing that slide, but we also have the $10,000 grant. They will give you $10,000 towards your purchase, same qualifications, 640 credit score, 1-unit or 2-unit property, but you have to pay that back. Like I said, every down payment assistance has a caveat. The $10,000 will get you $10,000 in the door. You will pay at 0% interest, $83.33 a month for that particular $10,000. They have another grant, $7,500. They will give you $7,500. You don't have to pay it back monthly, right? But you will have to pay the $7,500 when you close. So guess what you guys just heard? 3 different IDA grants. The $10,000 is not really a grant because you have to pay it back. It's an opportunity for you can get in at 0% and have access to $10,000 more, but you're gonna have to pay $83.33 a month, right? In addition to that, the $7,500. Congratulations. IDA's gonna give you $7,500 to purchase that particular property, but when you sell that property, you're going to have to pay the $7,500 back. Now, the forgivable grant is $6,000. 4% of the purchase price and or $6,000, whichever is the lowest. That is what IDA will give you. And you do not have to pay it back as long as you live in that property for the desired amount of time, which is pretty much 10 years. So that money, I won't call it free, but you do not have to pay the $6,000 back if you comply. However, you will with IDA pay a slightly higher interest rate than market. So you'll pay a little more than what you would have paid. But once again, that portion of it is fully forgiven. And I just want to stop there to make sure we don't have any questions with my IDA grants.
No questions yet.
Awesome sauce. Y'all quiet today. Can I get a hands up, a hey? We're going to get some loans today or something in the chat. Any questions? We like questions, guys. Don't be scared to ask questions. My next grant is the Home Ready First grant. This by far is my favorite grant right now. Effective January 31st, they're decreasing this grant by $1,000. It was $8,000. Now it's going to be maxed out at $7,000. So you see, when we get excited, they start making changes, and things change every single day, right? So this particular grant goes up to a 4-unit. 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, right? You get a grant, you get a grant, you get a grant. And with that being said, we take 1% of the purchase price, and then we give guaranteed rate gives you $5,000, right? And whatever lending institution gives you $5,000. So if the purchase price is 200,000 and we give 5,000, now that's the max 7,000. If the purchase price is 150,000, then your max grant would be $6,500, right? So keep that in mind. This is a conventional loan. I can go 1, 2, 3, or 4 unit on this loan. And the beauty of this loan is it didn't really matter how much money you made effective January 31st. They made some changes effective February 1st. They will go to the 140% of the average median income in your area. So it's still pretty aggressive, but no limit. It was, of course, much better. I love this grant because you can go to 4 unit properties, which is huge on conventional. You get a lot of sellers. They just don't want FHA. I've been working with them, y'all, because I can close an FHA loan just as fast as a conventional loan. But you know, it takes time to work with everybody. FHA does have some extra restrictions where the property has to qualify as well as you. But on conventional, you don't have that route. So if you're someone that has a 700 plus credit score, sometimes with a 1 unit, we can do 680. And you never know, right? When you're looking at conventional loans, it's never one rule. Minimum credit score is 620, but to get those 3 or 4 units approved, you want to be on the higher side. But this is an amazing grant. I think I have about 7 of these locked right now. Close these on a regular, everyday basis. And it's all about the address you currently live at. So if you currently live in the address that pops up for this loan and you're going to move downtown to $1 million house, you would still qualify for the grant just based upon where you are moving for. And that is pretty amazing. And I'm gonna go to my next grant. I see some messages, but I'm guessing them was probably some haze, right?
Yeah, they're chiming in. They're saying we're gonna get it. I'm happy to be here. They're saying this is so good and so helpful. So they're engaged with you.
Yeah. So my CHAC grant, this is my new favorite too. So I've had a little more time to do some more research on this particular grant program. And CHAC, if you guys don't know what that means, it's Chicago Housing Authority, right? They are the Section 8 program in the city where individuals are in the program and the government is paying their rent. Well, they came up with a program to help CHAC candidates come out of the program. But what they did was they didn't forget about everybody. So they will give $20,000 in down payment assistance if you opt into that situation for those that are already receiving Section 8 vouchers. But they will also give $10,000 to those that are not. Now, what does that mean for you? CHAC is one of the very few grants that you can stack. Stack means I can have 1, 2, whatever is allowable in stacking those grants. So I just spoke to you about the Home Ready First grant for $7,000. I can stack the CHAC grant with that and get you $17,000. Okay. So with that being said, even though you're not on Section 8, you're not in the program, I can get you $10,000 and I can stack it with another grant. But if you are in the program, I can get you $20,000. The crazy part of this grant that I just found out about is that there is no credit score requirement. And that is crazy, guys. That is crazy. So if you are out here with the 580 credit score, this grant is something where you can actually, for the first time, get down payment assistance. The other thing they allow you to do is to utilize it with a renovation loan. So they pretty much gave the sky of the limits for you in this particular grant because there's not that many grants that you can utilize with a renovation loan. And yes, I am your loan officer. I am a renovation specialist as well. And that is what I do. But you just have so many options out here. And you can go on this grant 1, 2, 3, and 4 unit. You'll hear a lot of lenders talk about they don't have any grants available for a 3 and 4 unit property. Well, we do today, and we haven't for a long time. So definitely take advantage of it. I am so grateful for NHS and CHAC for coming out with this program. I've been a preferred lender with CHAC since I entered the building, but this grant is so strong, and I think that people don't really pay attention. The trick to this grant is that the loan limits are a little lower. So if you are not on Section 8, and I said 1 unit on my slide stack because I was doing this pretty fast. So it's a 1-person household. So if you live in a house by yourself, the most you can make is 61,800. If you have 2 people, 70,600. 3 people, not unit, 79,450, and 4 people, 88,250. But as you slide to the right, if you're in the program, you're allowed to make more money and still get the grant. So once again, definitely take advantage of CHAC's grant. If you are in the program, scroll down on the list, you will see my name. I am so excited and honored to be able to be one of the lenders to really show people how to get the program done and to show them how to get it done right. And this program is fully forgivable, meaning once you close on that loan, then that grant is going to be your grant, your money, and you don't really have any paperwork associated to it. You just have to comply, complete the, there is an 8-hour home buyer class. And if you want to purchase a multi-unit, you need to take the the landlord class. And I want you guys to know, if you want to become a homeowner and you want to stay in your house and you really want to become a landlord, you got to do what homeowners and landlords do, right? So taking the classes helps you get yourself prepared so that way you're not walking in the dark. We're not coming up with down payment assistance programs and all of those things. We're not coming up with those programs just so we can, tell you about them and you purchase a house and you lose it later because it was a hardship and you really wasn't ready. We're teaching you about these programs so you can utilize them as a tool to get you into the programs. So that way you can get into the house, you can keep your house, and that can be the first thing that you do for your family. And then when your people come behind you, whether it be your husband, your children, your sister, your brother, now you are somebody that can teach them and show them that it is possible to help them get to their next level as well. We have to collaborate, right? We can't gatekeep. We got to share all the information we can share so that way we can own houses, the same houses that may have been the slums back 10 years ago that are actually highly appreciated and highly desirable by others, and they're going to take advantage of it if we don't.
Natasha, this is so good. And you have 2 questions. So we have one question here in the chat. I am in Alabama. How do I find a program like that there?
Thank you for tuning in all the way from Alabama. So you can email me at natasha@grarate.com if you want to drop that in the chat, Emeka. I can search the programs that are in your state. Some of the programs that we're talking about today, the Home Ready First, that's in Alabama. That should be in your state, but I'll check just to make sure. But a lot of the programs we do offer, like the one on the screen right now, this is a statewide program. CHAC is a Chicago-based program, but we do have an array of different programs available. I'm not licensed in Alabama at the moment. I am licensed in 21 states, but we can talk about that for you so I can get you either a referral, some guidance, and I can let you know what programs that I know about from my internet that's in Alabama, and then I can help you do some other research as well. But thanks for that question.
Awesome. He said he will go ahead and send you an email. You guys can talk further. You have one other question saying, if all of my money I have sitting is in my business account, but I'm trying to get a loan in my personal name, is that okay where most of my money is sitting?
Good question. So if you are doing your loan and your job is your business, right? Then it would make sense for you to have a business account because you own a business and you operate. In that particular situation, we don't mind it. But if you're someone that doesn't have a business and you work a job, then that can be a little challenging and dealt with by case scenario. And you don't want to drastically move money if you know that you are about to purchase something now. So I would say let's have a one-on-one consultation, just because guidelines are not the same for every situation. Every situation is never the same. So with that being said, I can help you walk through it. But if you're self-employed, then we already know that some of your money is going to be in a business. But when you leave it in there, oftentimes you will have to, back in the day, we used to have to provide something to state that utilizing that money won't negatively affect your business. I haven't seen that as much lately. But just keep that in mind, and we can have a one-on-one, and I can answer that question based off of how you're applying for the mortgage. Okay.
So good. She says, thank you so much. And she's going to send you over an email.
No worries, no worries. So the next program is the Freddie Mac single family access smart bar. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering here. Freddie Mac Borrower Smart Access. It's so many programs, y'all. I can't even get them out. I don't even know which program I'm talking about right now. But the Freddie Mac Borrower Smart Access, this program, you know, is the same way the Home Ready First loan was, except for this program is about the property that you're buying. And if the address pops up in the area, then you would get an extra $3,000. So pretty simple and sweet. But it is definitely a program that works. I always say if it's free, then we'll take, we'll take three. But with that being said, it's certain areas for this grant, and they list them here. We have Chicago, Naperville, Elgin, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Atlanta, Houston. We got some Fort Lauderdale in here, some Tennessee. So this grant is for those particular areas on the flyer. But when you're looking at properties, we'll run it for you, but you can possibly qualify for $3,000 just based off of you being in this program. And this is a conventional loan. Keep that in mind as well. And conventional loan just means that you have the option of getting an FHA loan or a conventional loan. This product is a conventional loan product. Home Ready First was a conventional loan product. IDA has programs for FHA and conventional. CHAC, FHA, and conventional. So keep that in mind as well. The Chenoa Fund. So I always like to bring up the Chenoa Fund on my slides. And the reason why I do is because I got in trouble and I lost a client because I did not sell them on this program. So we're going to talk about it tonight because we want to let you know what is available to you so you can make, you're going to always hear me say, you can make the best decision for you and your family. So the Chenoa grant will give you up to 5% towards the purchase. It's going to be a second mortgage, right? You have an interest rate on the second mortgage for the second loan, unlike IDA, where the interest rate was 0 on the grant money, right? In addition to that, they charge a higher interest rate on the first. So based on recent findings, their interest rates have been 1.5 to 2% higher than market. So this grant has not been as popular, but we can get you 5% towards your down payment, right? So some people, if you have to buy now, and this is the only way you can buy, and you don't have a 401k or a gift, and this is what you have to do, it's not a terrible option. You're just going to pay a little more for the money, but you'll be into the property. And based off the trend, property values go up every year. So if you paid a little more for the interest rate, but you were able to buy today, now in 3 years, you owe 3 years less on your property, and maybe you have even appreciated $40,000, right? So there are still some good and benefits in the Chenoa Fund, but just understand that the mortgage interest is going to be a little higher in this grant situation. It's going to allow you the opportunity for entry as an owner, but the rate will be a little higher. And what I tell clients to find out if this grant is the best grant for you, if you have other options. So say for instance, you have a 401k and you have another way to buy this property. If this is the only way and you can afford your mortgage, then by all means necessary, you do it, right? But if this is not the only way and you can borrow from your 401k or from your mom or whatever the situation is, you just take the amount of the mortgage payment if you didn't get the grant, and then the amount of the mortgage payment if you did get the grant. If the difference is $300 and the grant is $10,000, you divide that by the 10,000. I'm gonna do this exercise for you. Let me grab my calculator. So say for instance, if your mortgage payment went up $300 a month because you took the grant, right? And the grant was $17,000. Okay. So I'm going to take $17,000 and then I am going to divide it by $300. So it will take 56 months, right? After 56 months, then I will then start paying $300 for that money that was supposed to be free. So if I am out of that loan, if I refinance that loan within 56 months, then it will make sense for me. But if I don't refinance, so I'm going to change that scenario. Say, for instance, the grant was $10,000, okay? And it cost you $300. And it cost you $300 for the loan, right? If you stay in the loan after 33 months, you will then start paying $300 more for that extra grant money that you took. And I'm not going to make it a math class, but what I'm saying to you guys today is that always make sure that the numbers make sense. It's not always free. Just because it's a grant doesn't mean it's free. And let me repeat that. Just because you're getting down payment assistance on a loan and you are getting a grant for $10,000 does not mean that it's free. Because if over the life of the loan, you end up paying $70,000 back for the $10,000, then it wasn't free. And it's okay if it's not free, if that was your only way to enter to being a homeowner, because being a homeowner is important. And after 30 years, you're going to pay that house off, right? At least after 30 years, you can pay it off sooner if you choose to. So you want to own, you just want to know what your options are. And that's why you always want to use a loan officer that has options to different programs. So that way we can advise you properly and then just give you the information. So that way you can know what you have out there and then you can make those decisions for you and your family. Yep, that's right, Edward. A. Edwards. Not all grants are free. Some of the grants have higher interest rates, which make you end up paying more money. The CHAC grant, that's free, right? The Home Ready First grant, that's free. IDA can be free. It just costs a little higher interest rate. Chenoa's interest rate is slightly higher, but Chenoa has saved a lot of people's lives for me because they needed that money to enter and they were getting a deal on the property or whatever the situation is, and they just needed to get into the property now. So it's not always a bad thing to take a grant. You just want to have the right information. You want to know what you're getting yourself into. And sometimes people don't like to hear all of the information, but I try to give it to you just so you won't find out 10 years later and say, Natasha never told me. So my job is to inform you regardless of how, it may sound, but it's just my job to educate my clients so that way you know what you're getting into when you're getting into the grants. Our next grant is the doctor program. Guys, I am ecstatic. When I say ecstatic, do I not look like I have joy in my eyes? I have been waiting on this program for at least 7 years of my career. And we have not had this program until about 4 days ago, which is how we ended up with the topic for tonight. We was going to scratch whatever topic was coming, but we was going to talk about this doctor program. So with the doctor loan, you are able to get 100% financing, 100% financing with this particular loan, right? You don't have to pay mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is what you pay when you don't put 20% down. It's insurance to the bank to bridge that gap between the 80% and the 20%. On $1 million deals, mortgage insurance can get a little expensive. On $400,000 or $500,000 deals, it's an expense that you have to pay. You don't have to pay any mortgage insurance. You get to put 100% down. And this is for all of my doctors. This is for all of my doctors that have finished school and they are ready to go and they are ready to get in the field. You probably got a lot of loans because you're a doctor, you have a lot of education, and you're just ready to purchase that house. You don't want to have the burden of putting a lot of money down. And this loan is definitely for you, and they even are including veterinarians in this loan. So if you are a doctor, if you are a dentist, if you went to medical school and you have received a degree, you qualify for 0% down. The only people that don't qualify for this program, pretty much that is a doctor, is a chiropractor. So keep that in mind as well. And guys, if you know anybody that's a doctor, when you go to the doctor and your doctor's telling you about your blood pressure or whatever, let them know that based on all the school they did and everything they went through, that we can do 100% financing for them. So anybody listening, that if you are a doctor, yes, you do qualify for 100% financing on your home purchase. So keep that in mind if you, while you're out there weighing your options, because you don't need you don't need down payment assistance. Now, if you qualify for one that will stack with the doctor program, that's something that we can work on. But now with 100% financing, you can have your agent negotiate the seller, pay your closing costs, and you can end up right in the door with zero money down. And I don't want to drop any shoulders or anything, but I do want to disclose that you can go to $2.5 million. $2.5 million with 0% down on a home and not put any money down. Of course, you have to be able to afford the mortgage payment with your new great job you're just going to receive after you graduate. But $2.5 million, no money down. That is just the most amazing program that I've ever seen in my career. I don't meet a lot of doctors every day. I have done loans for a few, but there is a lot of loans out there for you guys. So take advantage, take advantage, take advantage. The program is simple and sweet. And we do close our loans within 3 weeks to 30 days, as long as we are provided what we need from the client. So that way we can get you to the finish line. And I do pre-underwrite all my files prior to you issuing your offer, because the goal is to not begin your process when you go under contract, but to go ahead and have a nice, quick closing through your process as well. VA loans. Now, all of you guys have known that you can go with the VA loan, 100% financing. Everybody knows. I don't know if they know that I waive my VA lending fees. So the $1,600 application fee is zero for veterans. Thank you for your services. I now offer VA renovation loans. I now offer VA renovation loans up to 4-unit properties. And we used to go to 1 million, and now we are even going, I think, up to 2 million now on a VA loan. So once again, a VA loan can do a 1, 2, 3, or 4-unit. No mortgage insurance, just like that Huntington Bank program. Renovation loans are allowed on this program. You can take advantage of the CHAC 10,000 or 20,000 and still utilize the VA program. So if you are a veteran and you do not own, it is the easiest for you to own, because you don't have to be a doctor. You only have to be a veteran to put no money down. And I'm gonna give you guys one more secret. If you are a disabled veteran of 80% or higher, you don't pay property taxes in Cook County. For other states, we'll check your states to see as well, but you don't pay property taxes. So I don't know if you've ever been to Calumet City and saw a nice, affordable 4-unit, started drooling and fell in love with it. And then you looked at the listing and found out the taxes was $28,000. Well, now that property is for you, to my veterans, because now with those taxes being exempt, you are able to purchase the property that may not be as desirable as the other multi-units because it had a higher tax bill. What this means for you guys is that if you were born and raised in Inglewood on the west side of Chicago like me, and you want to move your family to the north side or somewhere else, right? You can do that, because you may find a 4-unit property in Inglewood or in Woodlawn for $500,000 or $600,000, and the average rents are $1,800. But now you can take your VA loan and you can go buy a building for $1.5 million in a different neighborhood where maybe the rents are $3,000 a month. So you might just be in a better neighborhood situation, a better school district for your kids, and still be in the exact same situation. You owe more money on your property, but you're also receiving more rents. VA loans made buying possible for people in different areas that they didn't think. And I just want you to know, if you are a veteran, you definitely should be taking advantage of the benefits. You provided a service to this country, and this is just a very small token of repayment compared to everything that you've done for us. So with that being said, the VA loan is absolutely amazing. You can do a refinance with a VA loan, and the minimum credit score on a VA loan is only 580. So keep that in mind as well. And we are closing VA loans just like regular loans, 3 weeks to 30 days, as long as you're sending us all the documents we need to get you to the finish line. I'm gonna check the chat really fast here. I see I'm trying to learn how to multitask. My son has, so the question is, my son has access to VA benefits but doesn't work consistently. Is there a way we can work together on them? Is there a way we can work together on a mortgage? If you're saying together, you cannot go on the mortgage with your son unless no one can go on a mortgage with your son unless you guys are married. So if it can't be a dad and son situation. If the son is getting benefits, monthly benefits, I can use that as income. I have a lot of veterans that are getting monthly income. If your son doesn't work consistently, of course, that'll be a problem, because we want to make sure that we account for the income that he's going to get consistently, because we don't want to put him in a hardship where he cannot pay his mortgage. But if he qualifies with just the VA benefits, or if he starts getting consistent work for 1 year, VA pretty much makes you be back on that job for 1 year of consistent income, then we can get him there. So if he's not ready, we can look at him and give him a strategy plan and a Band-Aid session to get him ready. But just keep that in mind. And once again, thank you for the questions. But the VA benefits, Social Security pension, we can still use that as income to the client as well on VA and any other type of loans that I speak about here today. Awesome sauce. We getting fired up. 100% down. Financing 1, 2, 3, and 4 units in 2025. Guys, it's getting hot. Loan limits are crazy, ridiculous. We're at $1.5 million on a 4-unit property. Like, the loan limits are insanity. Even on the grants, like a 2-unit IDA will let you go over $700,000. So there is really no reason. Like, we have access to housing agencies, credit repair. Like, we have so much of everything that you guys need. We want you to step it up. And I'm not just talking to the people that need credit repair. I'm absolutely talking to my middle class people that's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that currently don't own. They love being downtown at the luxurious apartments with the pool and the door guy and all of that good stuff. And it is so awesome and amazing. Those are like, oh, I don't want to own because I don't know if I'm going to still be living in Chicago anymore. Well, guess what? You're living in Chicago now. And if you decide to leave, then you can sell your house and make money and buy something else. But you definitely want to look into becoming a homeowner. I know it may be challenging. I know it may be easy to write a rent check. I know you may not want to take the time to get buyer ready or take a step backwards to take a step forward, but you don't want to wake up 30 years later or when it's time to retire and you don't have no ownership in property. Because guess what rent keeps doing? Going up. Guess what the mortgage does? Stays the same. Unless your taxes and your insurance increase, your mortgage payment, your principal and interest never increases. Just your taxes and your insurance. And as we get older, we start getting senior exemptions, senior freezes, and other opportunities for your taxes to go down. So just keep that in mind. And I'm not here to pressure you. I just want y'all to know that it is very important. You know, we've had changes in our presidency. You know, it's a lot of things going on in the world, and we got to own our blocks. We got to own what's ours, and we got to plan for our futures. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but what we do know is that our homes that we purchase are ours, and it is a way to give wealth to those that are going to come behind us. And if you guys are like me, you started out with nothing, right? So it's going to take a little more generations to build wealth. But if you start somewhere, someone in your family will pick it up for you. You just got to keep teaching them and give them good messages. Let's see. Required documents. So if you are interested in purchasing a home, these are the documents that you need. If you are self-employed, right? We need your last filed 2 years of taxes. I do have programs that will allow 1 year taxes. So before you start uploading everything to my portal, even if you do the application, call me first before you start sending me a whole bunch of documents that I may not need. It's just like going to court. I only need what I asked for, and I'm only going to present what's needed to get you to underwriting. The more documents I present that are not needed, they have things on them that can make the underwriter ask you questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to submit them a clean file without extra documents. So that way we don't have any additional delays in your process. Profit and loss, right? So if it's 2025 right now, so if you haven't filed 2024, which you haven't, because today is probably the first day. If you're self-employed, you probably like me on an extension waiting to get all the paperwork in. But with that being said, I would basically need your 23 and your 22 taxes and a profit and loss for 2024. That profit and loss, income, expenses, profit. I don't need a $300 profit and loss. I don't need it to be all fabulous or professional like that. I just needed to have the name of your business, January 1st through December 31st, profit and loss, income, expenses, profit. If you want to add more to it, that's totally fine. We're just trying to see, are you making the same amount of money or more that you filed in the prior years. So we're going to look at that profit and loss, and we're going to try to make sure that you are on track for the years that were prior to this year. If you are a regular employee and you are not self-employed, I need 30 days of pay stubs. I need your last 2 years W-2s. You should be receiving 24, and I only need 23 and 24, right? 1 month bank statement. What am I looking at on the bank statement? On the bank statement, they are looking for insufficient funds. That makes the deal a little more difficult. If you have insufficient funds, definitely reach out to your loan officer. So that way we can set you up on a strategy session to make sure that you're set up for success before we get you into an application. They're looking for CLARMA, all of the little short-term payments to the IRS. Guess what? That tells them that you owe the IRS some money. So even though you're not self-employed and you didn't have tax returns, you have something else going on with your profile if you're paying the IRS. So they're not only looking at your deposits, they're looking at your withdrawals. And I know it's like, oh, I don't want them in my business. Well, that's what happens when they look at bank statements. Oftentimes, other loan officers, they don't request a full file from you until you go under contract. Please don't be upset with me, but I asked for it on pre-approval, because if I see things that are going to pose a problem to you, I am going to bring it up in your pre-approval process, so that way you don't have any surprises and extra stress once you go under contract. So those are pretty much what is needed. Of course, the self-employed we talked about on the other side. A lot of clients during COVID and PPP, they had businesses. So when we pull your credit, there's an underwriter report that most people will pull when you go under contract. I pull that underwriting report now because I want to see what's popping up. Do you have a foreclosure? Are you on the deed to somebody else's property? Do you have other businesses? We're going to go through all of those things. So you're going to start with the basic documentation. And then if I need anything additional, I'll request it from you. But if you give me everything, I can pretty much get your loan pre-approved in about 2 hours. And also I get the last pay stub from the prior year. So I would get the last pay stub from 23 and 24. Why must I do that? Ever since COVID, everyone has everything in the portal. So almost every company has the portal where you can download your documents. If you get bonuses, commission, overtime, or sometimes you work 30 hours and sometimes you work 36 and sometimes you work 45, that is considered variable. I have to request a third-party verification from your employer, which puts me in a situation where I can't issue your pre-approval in a couple of hours. But if you give me the last pay stubs, that information is going to tell me everything your employer is going to tell me. And now I can continue on with my quick pre-approval. So if you're someone that is salaried, then that's not going to be a big deal. But if you're definitely someone that gets bonuses over time, you sometimes work 40, you sometimes work 30, giving me those year-end pay stubs just allows me to get you a quicker pre-approval. If you don't have it, don't worry. We'll just request it from your employer. But once again, a lot of times clients call, they're waiting, they've already found their dream property and they want it now. So that's just a way to get it back a lot faster. Checking on my questions. Rent checks ain't easy. Oh, I hear you, A. Edwards.
One question on Instagram. They want to know, what are your investor programs?
Awesome. So we have a lot of different. So today we were talking about the 100% financing. I'm going to be bringing on a lot of other investor programs as well. But investors, we pretty much do not have down payment assistance for investors. Now, I do know the city is open to a whole bunch of opportunities right now, with the large lots deadline being this week, as well as the NOF funds and things like that. So there are opportunities for down payment assistance through the city, through your municipality. But I offer a renovation loan, 1 unit home style. I can do 1 unit plus renovation with a 720 score. I do offer hard money lending, and I have an outlet for you for private lending, which will allow you to get into a property with no documents, and as low as 10 to 15%, depending on your experience. So you can email me. I do have my email address, natasha@grarate.com, and I can get you some more direct programs for what you're trying to do. But I have 763 new programs in 2025. So I'm so excited about being able to share all of that with you, and let you guys know what tools it needs to be dangerous. And I'm going to tell you guys a secret. that I do for my clients, if it's something that Natasha Robinson cannot do, I will refer you to another lender. I have a lot of lender friends. So my goal is just to help you become great and get into your property. It took me about 4 years to find the right lenders for my investment properties. A lot of people just didn't want to share the information, and I'm in the industry, but I did a lot of digging and a lot of researching. So I do have a lot of resources that I can share with you if a product is not within my portfolio for you. Any more questions out there in the world? I forgot we was on Instagram and Facebook. Hey, everybody. We live in 2005.
This is so good. No more questions, but everyone is chiming in and saying this is great information and thanking you for taking the time and going over it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that pretty much sums up my information. You know, you guys can always complete the application if you feel like you're ready. If you feel like your credit score is below 580 or you want to get it up to 640 so you qualify for more grant opportunities, you can always email me so that way I can set you on track. I will tell you, when you do the application, it's going to be a soft pull. They're not going to pull your credit. It's not really for you. They charge them now. So we've been wanting this for years. And now since credit reports got expensive, now we can do soft pulls. So sometimes things work out, but it just gives me an opportunity to look at your profile and see where you stand. If you're ready, I'll pull your credit and issue the pre-approval. If you're not, then I'll put you on track to become ready. So keep that in mind as well. You can always stay connected with me. If you guys are not following me, I am Loans by Natasha on Instagram, Natasha Robinson on Facebook, and my website is loansbynatasha.com, which will bring you back to everything. And thank you. So I hope that I was able to share information with you that you can utilize. You can tune in every Monday. It is going to be a different topic. This is Mortgage Moves Mondays because we're making mortgage moves in 2025. Realtors, I have a separate call for you on Tuesdays. It's a little more high level at 12 o'clock. Similar topic, but more in the realtor, referral based conversation. More high level. So I separated them just because I just thought it was important to do so. But I am every Tuesday, 12 o'clock. I am also every Monday for my home buyers. And if you have a topic that you would like to hear me discuss, you can email that or drop that in the comments as well. And I look forward to giving you all the information you need so that way you can either become a home buyer or inspire and encourage someone else to become a home buyer. So when you get off this call, do me a favor, call 5 more people. Tell them something that you learned tonight and how excited you were, right? And then help motivate them to tune in so that way we can all own homes together. I am your loan officer, Loans by Natasha, NMLS number 332074. And I am honored to present with all the information that I have. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time.